Welcome to a special bonus podcast here on the Celebrate Wrestling feed. I'm Mike McGuire.
I'm Joe Aguinaldo.
And this is a returning edition of Tuesday, A Morning Cooked, the least produced, least thought out podcast, but still the best damn Raw review on the internet. And tonight, we are not reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw. But before we get there, Joe, this is where you and I would take time to catch up. And, I don't want to go into the specifics, but you know that as of right now, I'm a bit of a hurting Albertan today.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm just
32,000 steps, baby.
I'm happy to be just sitting here talking to you and catching up like we used to. How are things in Joe's world?
It's good. It's busy. I mentioned this to you off podcast, but we spanned them in. We played our first gig on Friday. Last week. Yeah.
What do you guys call it? The Mixtape Society?
That's us. Yeah. We play like a lot of we pay homage to 80s, 90s, and early 2000 songs.
In other words,
Rock.
You do a bunch of covers and you don't pay royalties for them.
Pretty much. Yeah.
How does that work these days? Because I mean, that used to be the thing. I remember like even DJing events, like sometimes SoCan, which for those that are listening outside of Canada, maybe even within Canada, don't know, but SoCan is the governing agency in Canada that pays out royalties allegedly to artists. And I say allegedly because I would not be the first person to say that.
You would not be the first, nor probably the last either. Well,
and the accuracy is questionable. The payouts is even more questionable. Basically, what it is that broadcasters, especially, and venues for the longest time had to pay these things called SoCan fees. And I'm pretty sure they still do. And the SoCan fees would cover the royalties for whatever musical content you played in your building or on your radio station, on your TV channel. And then you would submit your logs, your digital readouts, or even scans or photocopies of your old ones back in the day. And somehow somebody would allegedly put this list together and then pay out the artists accordingly. And I say this being a former music director of several radio stations, because we also have this thing called CanCon, which means that you have to play a certain amount of Canadian content per radio station or TV station. And they're starting to do it with the online streaming as well. Sorry, this is turning into a rant. But I remember when I launched a radio station, I wanted to add some songs, and you used to get dinged if you didn't play the CanCon version of songs. So like an artist, for example, let's take Dallas Smith, okay, lead singer of Default and also a huge country singer now. Let's say that he recorded a song, but he recorded it in Nashville, which frankly he should in most cases. Well, I mean, when debuting in the genre and everything, why wouldn't you go to the best place, right?
Right.
Well, what they would have to do then is send all the audio and all the coding and everything else and have somebody reproduce it the exact same way in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be considered Canadian, because if the producer wasn't Canadian, that's one of the elements. You had to have I think it was either 2 or 3 of the elements of this music artist, publisher, producer, and label. Thing.
It was like, it's not messed up, but it was kind of like a weird thing.
Super messed up. Because you're basically telling your Canadian artist you're not Canadian unless you spend money to do the same work twice. So, hey, fledgling Canadian artist who doesn't have any money to begin with, make things harder for yourself. That's how we're going to support the music industry. I'm so glad I'm not in music radio anymore. I don't miss this crap at all, to be honest. I miss everything else about it, but I don't miss that. At all.
No, I get that. That said, though, we did have a good gig.
Okay, yeah, back to your thing. So, we have to submit a playlist or anything, or what happens?
No. We just we kind of got lucky. Our dudes called up, said, "Hey, we want to play," and they're like, "We'll put you on Friday." I'm like, "All right, cool."
Nice.
So, and you know what? Like, the band is, especially the drummer and the singer. So the singer, he's actually the voice of Sportsnet. Like
Really?
if you hear his name's Mike, and when you hear like the coming up the World Series, like that's him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, right?
In the biz, we call that the imaging voice. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, he's that guy, and he both the drummer and the singer are huge into CanCon. So we actually played like a lot of Canadian content. Like we played like Our Lady Peace, we played Stereo, we played not Stereo, sorry, Watchmen, we played Grapes of Wrath.
Stereo. Oh, that's a good tune.
Grapes of we played like that was it Backward Town by Grapes of Wrath. So we got our CanCon in as well.
Yeah. Well, going back to the CanCon list for a second here, then we'll actually talk about other things. When I launched that radio station, I asked them, this is the whole point of that story. I asked them, can you send me the list of what songs qualify as CanCon and which ones don't? That way we can comply when we build our music database, right?
Yeah.
This was the answer that told me that the whole CanCon and SoCan thing is highly in need of review. We don't have one. We don't have a list, but we'll tell you if it's not, and you'll be in trouble. And you can be taken off the air if you don't play a certain amount. That was the whole point of this story.
That sounds very... Yes, I've heard this before. So sadly.
So, okay. Well, congratulations. Is that the show that Mouth and Andrada showed up at?
Yeah. So, okay. So this was even weirder. So there's a song where I don't actually like play. So it's a kind of a break song for me. Right. And because it's a Tool song, it's a long song. So, I went backstage to go to the bathroom, and like Mark, because he's in the entertainment section, like he works in entertainment.
Mark Andrada, for those that don't know.
Yes, Mark Andrada. He knew the Rivoli, so he knew where the dressing room was, and so he just walked backstage, and I just happened to be walking like off stage, and I bumped into him, and then Dan Mouth Lavransky comes in, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" It was like kind of a small reunion, so that was the selfie awesome. We took just outside the bathroom.
That's cool. Speaking of Mouth, I have to thank him. He mailed me another Sweet Daddy Siki record.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think it's one of the country ones, but it's my favorite one because it's the one of him in all his wrestling gear on the cover, and he's like standing there. Right. And yeah. So
is that the one with him in like the top hat and like the he's got his wrestling trunks on with it?
Yeah.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
I think it might even be a double album. I got to double check, but
it's scary that I know the cover of this.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing too, is that because Dan wanted to protect it, because I might be keeping it or I might be gifting it to a certain someone whose birthday is coming up.
Right. Is it who I think you're thinking?
Yeah,
okay, never mind. Yeah, right.
Anyway, we'll see.
Okay.
But the thing is that because he wanted to protect it, he shipped 3 other records with it. And the 3 other records, because it's in one of those record shippers, right? Because of course Dan would have record shippers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's Dan. He knows Dan
Lavransky.
Yeah. So
anyway, one of the records is like an old comedy album. Rusty, what is her last name? I can't remember right now. The other is like Luciano Pavarotti. And then the third one is like some Greek guys. And I was like, he doesn't know this, but he's inadvertently sent me gifts for Mitch and Dimitri.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Oh my God.
And maybe Joe. And maybe even Stefan here. But I was like, this is subconsciously him packing the entire Celebrate Wrestling Network into a record shipper. So, yeah. Anyway, Rusty Blackwell, is that?
You got me. Come on, you know me and my pop culture. It's non-existent.
This is Dan Lavransky pop culture, so
yeah, which is like that's a Dan Lavransky's like deep cuts. Everything.
Do you remember? Right? Do you remember the Holiday Hullabaloo when I had him and RJ City sit together,
dude?
And they just went off on a 20-minute tangent about stuff that nobody's heard of.
Like they were talking about like these weird Christmas movies.
Yes.
It was like, and like and like one of them, and I vaguely remember the topic, but I just remember it was about like it was a UN movie or something,
The nuclear war one. Yeah.
by the UN, but it was like the most horrible like stereotypes.
Carol for Another Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, it was, but that was such a fascinating conversation because it's almost like you just wind the two up and you back up and you just let them go.
And that's exactly what it was. It's and RJ even laughed at one point. He's like, "We've effectively pushed you out of this conversation now."
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah,
but
that was the movie
really good though.
That was the movie that Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And it was something about something about the nuclear war and all. It was just crazy. I watched it. I remember watching it. It was just
nuts. Lord. Okay. Yeah, I didn't go that far, but even they were even just talking about like just it was just this random stuff that, and they both knew what the other was talking about, and it was just like, how do you guys know this stuff? Like,
yeah, it was. I'm just reading the synopsis now, trying to pretend like I remember it all, and I don't. It was so weird. It was such a weird movie. Anyway, yeah. Well, that's. I'm glad you got to see them in person, and that's something that I do miss is seeing those guys. I do get to see a bunch of people this week, though. I'll be on the road Wednesday. I'm doing small town indie wrestling, which is awesome. The Lethbridge guys are doing a show in a town called Raymond for Canada Day. So we're going to do wrestling. I'm ring announcing, and then the fireworks happen right after our matches. So
nice.
That's exciting. And then on Thursday, I head up to Calgary, and I'm hosting a private Calgary Stampede kickoff party. And I doubt this news has made it to where you are, but there's been a bunch of crap going on in Calgary about noise ordinances for these outdoor concerts that happen during Stampede time. And it got to the point where the provincial government is like overreaching and claiming that they're going to do something about it, which they can't. And, everybody's just fighting, right? Like everybody's just fighting. And so
right.
Happily, I can say I'm not a part of any of those events, which I'm thrilled about. This is one in a closed theater that has walls and a ceiling. So, it's an actual thing. And then I got confirmed once again to MC a thing called Flats Fest out in BC, which I've been to the last couple of years. And dude, it's a music festival in the mountains. And to tie it back to our podcasting past, one of the favorite acts of one Jason Agnew, Stephen Page of the Bare Naked Ladies, is going to be one of the headliners.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So looking forward to meeting him and bringing him on stage. And then I have another surprise coming up that I won't talk about now. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Nice.
So that's some of the stuff going on. And a bunch of other wrestling stuff coming up too. CWE's on the road. Going to have Trevor Lee, who used to be Cameron Grimes in NXT.
Oh, yeah. Right. To the moon, baby.
Yeah, to the moon. He's going to be on that tour, so we're going to probably try and get a chat with him at some point if he's interested.
Nice.
And yeah. And then I don't know if you heard on McGuire on Wrestling, but I told this story about cleaning the ring canvas yesterday. And yeah, it was crazy. It was right at the start of the show, so clearly you didn't listen to the show yet, or you skipped that part, one of the two. But
I came in at the 5 count, so like,
oh, dude. Well, see, this is what I've done now is I've taken the show and I've made the first 5 minutes like what you and I do, but it's just me kind of updating my. So it's like the most personal part to me, and you skip right by it. Thanks, buddy. The whole part that makes it McGuire on Wrestling. You didn't skip to the 5 count. You skipped to hear yourself, you son of a gun.
I heard the 5 count.
Don't even lie. Yeah. I heard the 5 count because I was waiting for my segment.
Of course.
Okay, well, anyway, the bottom line is I found out how to clean a wrestling ring canvas, which would sound either really easy or impossible if you think about it. It's a big 20 by 20 canvas, right? And the dungeon wrestling canvas is a mess. Like it's got 3 years of wrestling on it. I'm pretty sure it's never been anything. So, but I figured it out, and we've got a cleaner here in Lethbridge that's doing it, and she's doing a great job. But Yeah, so Thursday when I go up to host this party, I'll be stopping by a certain someone's house to drop off the canvas afterwards. And yeah, it's like, here's laundry.
Oh, Lord.
Happy birthday. Here's some laundry. I had it done up for you. Real nice.
I hope it wasn't that bad.
Well, it's kind of what it is, though. Like, they put in this giant industrial... You know what? Go back to McGuire and Wrestling. I'm not going to waste the time here. Go back to McGuire and Wrestling and listen to the canvas story, damn it.
I will.
It's a good story. It's a good story that apparently nobody cares about. Joe Aguinaldo just wants to hear himself. That's fine. That's fine. I do the same thing. It's all good. Actually,
what did we talk about yesterday?
What?
What did we talk about? Oh, right. The Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. Right. And what are we going to talk about now? Everything else.
Everything else.
Dear God, what a mess, man. So the point of this show, besides Joe and I catching up and reminiscing, which I think we've done enough of now, is to touch on all the other stuff that happened on Sunday. Saturday, Night of Champions, done. Got some great content out of it. Got a great radio show out of it. Got a great podcast out of it. But dear Lord, Sunday was a chore, Joe.
It was not easy.
Now, let me ask you, out of the options that were available, and 100% clarity, again, we don't lie and say we watched every second of everything. Joe, what did you watch between TNA Slammiversary, NXT Great American Bash, and AEW Forbidden Door?
AEW Forbidden Door.
You watch any of the other two at all?
Just highlights. And
highlights is fine.
Not even that much.
Okay. So I decided to be a super trooper and tried to watch all three. Now,
why? It's a lot of wrestling, dude.
Because I need to convince myself that I still love this, apparently. I don't know. I don't know.
You're a better P1 than I am.
What a damn mistake. Like, and it's just going to get worse when All In happens, because WWE's counter-programming now. They're doing AAA and NXT together. So that's going to be crazy. And Lord knows what TNA is going to throw in there that weekend. Right? It's just stupid. But I watched I watched 95% of Slammiversary.
Oh my God. Well, that's impressive.
I missed like one or two of the middle matches because I had some stuff I had to take care of. But yeah, I watched pretty much the entire show. I really wanted to see what happened with Santana. Obviously, we had him on the show the week prior, and all the conversation was about him. And I kind of knew it was going to happen, kind of didn't. And Joe, I don't know if you actually saw how that match finished. Did you hear about it?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's fine. So the show is running long. The show is running really long. They've got a certain window that they have to fill to get this pay-per-view done, right?
Right.
And as the last hour was literally hitting the last minutes, they get to the finish, which made for what I felt a rushed finish in this match. So let me explain. Spoiler alert. They have a knockdown drag-out match. At one point, Nemeth has that call your shot trophy, the big cup that they give him.
Yep.
Instead of a briefcase, he gets a trophy. So he cracks Santana across the head with it. Santana gets up and he's bleeding all over the place. Stuck pig, right? Awesome. Well, now they're fighting even more. They're hitting each other with every finisher they got. Nothing. Finally, Nemeth hits, I can't remember if he hit the, whatever he's calling it now, the danger zone, which used to be the zigzag.
Oh, yeah, it's the danger zone.
Yeah, so he hits that, and Santana kicks out at 1.
Oh.
And he gets up, and he's just raging, right?
Right.
But the story they're trying to tell is that Santana is blowing himself up. Like, he's gonna fight with every last ounce of strength. Bret Hart, Steve Austin, right?
Right.
They're trying to give him the Austin finish almost with the blood. So he gets up, and he's about to hit his spin the block, his tornado discus clothesline, right? His discus lariat, if you would.
Right.
And just as he goes to twirl, he like flops over onto Nemeth's shoulders because he's overexerted himself now, and he is okay. Your reaction, and please, for the love of God, do not take this as knocking Mike Santana. Do not take this as knocking Nick Nemeth. Okay. I truly feel that had they more time to play this out, it could have actually worked. But imagine trying to do that spot where you got to freak out, overexert yourself, and then pass out.
In a minute?
And you got to do it in like 30 seconds. That's how it looked. To me, that's how it looked. And if that's how they planned it, fine. But you can't tell me in my heart of hearts to think that this is how it was supposed to go. I think they were supposed to have more time. I think there's supposed to be more time to draw it out for Santana to really, really do something to maybe overexert himself and then have the flop finish, sure. But it happened within a minute, dude.
Yes, especially if he kicked out at 1 from a...
That's what I mean.
From the danger zone thing or whatever you call it. But I don't know, like, because, like, that the way you described that ending reminded me of Punk Roman, and I had no time for that Punk Roman ending. Like,
I've totally forgotten about that. Yeah, you're right. Where Punk got too gassed, right?
Like again, you know how much I love CM Punk, okay? But like,
for those who don't know, Joe does not love CM Punk.
Like, all joking aside, that was an amazing match up until the ending. So, like, what you're describing to me with Santana and Nemeth sounds like that. They had an amazing match up until the ending. And then, like, even worse, they rushed it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, though. And I think that's exactly what happened. And that's a great comparison that I, again, totally forgot about.
And I love me some Mike Santana. By the way, I didn't mention this. I don't think I've mentioned this, but I did listen to that interview, and that was really good. So kudos to
cool guy, right?
Yeah, really cool, man. Yeah. And like, I love the stuff that, like, where he was talking about how Calgary was like, he was even though he's from New York, Calgary was his place. Like, Bret Hart was his guy, all that stuff. So I really dug that. It really resonated with me.
And we had, like I said, we had multiple conversations like that. And I told him, I said, look, man, I'm not trying to butter your bread or nothing here, but like everything he says about that was me growing up in Red Deer.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like,
it was idolizing him, and it just to see someone else who not only has shared that same feeling and materialized it into some great success, and he's done that. And I think on this very show, maybe, or one of these shows, when Santana first announced that he was going solo, remember the hate that was on that guy? Like, everybody's talking about, like, who the hell does this guy think he is? He's got a great thing going with Ortiz. How could he do that? Why would he want to break off and blah, blah, blah. And now you see why.
Yeah, he's like, and that was the thing. Like, I always liked Santana and Ortiz as a tag team. When they were with the what was it called, Jericho Appreciation Society or whatever it was.
The Inner Circle.
The Inner Circle.
That's how far that goes.
That's it. Yeah. And I thought they were going to be like AEW champions for a while. And then when they broke up, I was shocked. But I'm not shocked that Santana was the one that broke out as the star. Like, I mean, he was kind of the Shawn Michaels to Ortiz's Marty Jannetty.
I want to make a rule. I don't want the Shawn Michaels Marty Jannetty comparison to happen in wrestling anymore.
All right.
This isn't against you, okay? Because Stefan brought it up the other day too. And I just think, like, look, Marty Jannetty's had a life. The dude's lost a foot now.
Yeah, that's...
Do you know what I mean? Like, can we just get off that already? Like, and again, this isn't an indictment of you, but I think as wrestling fans, we need to have a little bit of humanity here. And I get the comparison. You're talking about the roles as tag team partners and future success and everything else. But imagine being the guy that people go to. You know what I mean? Imagine living with that for the rest of your life as being the guy that didn't amount to anything. And that's what people
I'm not gonna say it didn't amount to anything.
No, but that's what people often do, though. When they say who's the Michaels, who's the Jannetty, right? That's the comparison. I'm not saying you personally, Joe. I'm just saying that we as wrestling fans, we need to find a better simile, you know? Maybe the Boris Zukov to the Nikolai Volkov.
Ugh.
I don't know. Anyway, so that was the big takeaway from TNA was Santana's flop down finish. Good for him. Got right the hell out of the ring.
I will say one of the highlights that actually I was like, it blew me away. Don't laugh.
Sure.
Was the ending to Eddie Edwards versus Moose, where Edwards, where that's the guy's name, right? Eddie Edwards.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Where Moose is tied up and Eddie Edwards is threatening somebody, and I didn't know who that somebody was, but Moose is like in the ropes trying to get free, and then he gets free, and I was like, "Go Moose!" I thought that was great.
Well, and he broke the zip tie off his wrist too. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Moose gets a lot of grief too. I don't know why.
I like that guy.
I like him. You know, won't answer an email, but
okay, well, whatever. he's big timing you. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, welcome to the club. Anyway, yeah, and honestly, as far as matches from that show goes, I mean, that's the one I was looking forward to, obviously, the most. I'm trying to think to what worked for me and what didn't. I couldn't at all have cared about AJ Francis and Elias. Elijah, which sucks because I love Elijah. I really do.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just it. Yeah, that just doesn't. I looked at the card and aside from Santana and Nemeth, like sure Moose and Eddie Edwards, you know, I kind of knew like a little bit about them, but for the most part, the card was just like, I couldn't get into it. Well,
I will say this too: Jeff Hardy is still just insane. Like he's becoming the middle-aged of this generation, right? Like,
as long as he doesn't hurt himself, like, you know.
Yeah. I did not appreciate the 7-man X Division Championship match, the Ultimate X, and I don't say I didn't appreciate the match for what it was. I just didn't understand how Leon Slater's rematch got turned into a 7-man. Like Leon Slater lost the title. So he should get a match against Cedric Alexander, right? Or as I call him, Cedric Alexander Fatu. Because, man, is he giving off Jacob Fatu vibes now. But, yeah, they you know, the one good thing that came out of that is that after it, they gave Amazing Red his induction to the Hall of Fame announcement, which is cool.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, the only other thing that really kind of made me smile in this whole thing was seeing Uha Nation, Apollo Crews, come back.
Fair enough.
And he's wearing the full Uha Nation outfit. I was like, yeah, what a great name. I forgot that he was Uha Nation before he was Apollo Crews. I love that name.
So you said the card ran long. Like, how long did it go?
Well, it went right to 4 hours. It went right to 4 hours.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Plus, they had a pre-show set of matches before that as well. So they had a bunch of...
Hey, who do they think they are? AEW? Come on.
Well, that's just it, right? That's just it. So we'll get there in a moment here. So you didn't watch any Great American Bash?
I'm looking at the card. I don't know anyone on here other than Zariah.
Okay, well, Tony D and Naraku.
Okay, wait. I know Tony D'Angelo and I know Naraku.
Yeah, well, Naraku, formerly Evil.
Yeah.
Right. Mr. Io Sky is there now, and well, that's what he is.
I just got that.
They're married.
I know.
What am I supposed to call him?
Naraku.
What am I supposed to call her? Mrs. Naraku? Sorry, when it comes to who's the bigger name right now. Anyway, Mr. Io Sky challenge for the title, and I thought it was a good match. And what I liked about that is that they put it on first, because that meant I wouldn't have to watch the whole Great American Bash. match. Which, and again, no disrespect to anybody on that show either, but I just, you only got so many hours in the day and I had to eat. You know, I wanted to actually cook real food, so I did that. And then I actually sent you guys, I sent everybody in the group chat a screen cap of me trying to keep track of both that and the 0 hour for AEW. And that's when I said, screw this, I'm going to go cook. So I did.
Good call.
And then it was time for AEW. We are headed to Meltzerland, San Jose, California, for AEW's New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and Stardom co-presented event, Forbidden Door 2026. Joe, I really tried to care about this show. And here's the thing. We did a yay boo, which we'll get to. Everybody that commented a yay boo on the Celebrate Wrestling Facebook page, we'll get to your thoughts. I'm not going to even do the music. This is the least produced podcast we do, and damn it, we're going to keep it that way. But your thoughts, you know what, let's do the yay boo right off the hop here, and then we'll talk about the show itself. So, okay. Joe, yay or boo for AEW Forbidden Door 2026?
I'm actually going to give this a yay.
Okay, why?
Because like you, I was kind of not looking forward to the card. Okay. And everything I watched, I was like, damn, that's pretty good. So okay. I was like length. We all know that AEW goes long. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. But like these, like even like I walked in during the last match of the 0 hour, like the pre-show. It was like Megan Bayne and Lena Cross versus Thunder Rosa and Olympia, and I was like,
Divine and it was like Dominion.
Olympia walked out, and I'm like, who's that? And then I was like, hey, and then like Thunder Rosa came out. I'm like, that's cool. And then I was like, this is a pretty good match. And then like they kind of got me into it, and like every match as it went along, I was like, I didn't want to like the Young Bucks match, like the, you know, Young Bucks versus Mystico and Dorada and like Unbound and stuff. And I was like, damn it, I like this match. And then Kenny Omega and Zack, like I was really looking forward to that match because Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. Hello. So yeah, like every match that I didn't really want to like, I ended up liking, and I thought it was really good. I mean, sure, it was a long show. Again, AEW tends to do that. But I enjoyed it. So I'm giving it a yay.
Okay, and that's fine. And again, wrestling aside, it was a resounding boo for me, and it was for the exact reason. And it might be a lazy reason, it might be a repetitive reason, but the bottom line is that as someone who enjoys watching pro wrestling live, enjoys watching live pay-per-views, PLEs, and everything else, I am noticing it impacting my life more and more.
Right.
And the amount of time that I lose from doing other things I enjoy. And I realize these are personal choices. There's not a gun to my head saying I have to watch wrestling. I get that, okay? I do feel some responsibility having a weekly show and claiming to be someone who, you know, again, I don't even know what I am. I'm a talk show host. I'm not a journalist. I'm here to just talk about it, right? The thing for me, Joe, is that the matches, yes, many were spectacular. And I agree 1,000% that the wrestling was top bar stuff. Even the matches that were so-so were great. But I need wrestling companies to accept that we have lives outside of you. Do you know what I mean? And maybe some of us don't, and I get that too, but
but Mike, I totally understand. I mean, like when I was doing this, for lack of a better term, full time, I was getting to that point. It's like I didn't want to watch Raw. I didn't want to watch SmackDown because it just felt like it started to feel like a chore, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't I don't watch a ton of wrestling like weekly, right? I don't watch a lot of AEW. I don't watch a lot of Raw. I don't watch a lot of SmackDown. And what I find is that like, it's like, okay, like because I don't watch that stuff, when I do watch it, I dig it. But I got to imagine that if I was watching AEW every Wednesday and Collision every Saturday, and then I got to watch this pay-per-view, and then on top of that, this weekend you had TNA, like that probably didn't help that you watched TNA, NXT, and oh, by the way, there was a pay-per-view the night before. That's a lot of wrestling to watch, man.
Yeah, it's too much. And
I get it. I get it.
Like it got to the point too, and that's why we stopped wanting to do these on a regular basis, because it was impeding our lives. And yeah, so for me, it gives me that feeling. And again, we're doing Tuesday Morning Cook today without watching Raw, which is not why we do Cooked. Right? I mean, we're doing it to catch up on everything else. So that to me is, again, it's not for the show wrestling wise. It's not against the wrestlers. What it is it is an indictment of AEW and any wrestling company. TNA didn't need to run 4 hours.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, and here's the thing. Like, I don't want to complain, even though I am complaining about the length of the show, but it's like, it would be one thing if he does a show every quarter. Okay, cool. Let's have a long show every 3 months. But if you're going to do a monthly pay-per-view, which is what he's doing now, like you can't do these 4 or 5 hour shows. It's a lot of wrestling.
75% of my waking hours on Sunday were watching wrestling.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So as much as I enjoyed the pay-per-view, with that context that you're giving me, if it had been me, I probably would have given the show a boo, because this was a long show, right?
Give me all killer, no filler, but give it to me in 3 hours.
Yeah. I do hope that Darby Allin is okay, because man, he took some hellacious bumps.
Oh, for God's sake, that whole thing. I mean, if we talk about the show, which we can, it's the last thing I expected was that cage match to come off as a comedy match, but it really did in a lot of ways. There were a lot of silly,
but there's still some sick bumps.
Oh yeah, with some really nasty bumps too. But did you not get a vibe like a lot of haha in this thing?
Dude, like the shirt that Andrade was wearing, it's like that's kind of a haha thing right there, right? Like when he hit he hit the dude and then he rips the shirt off and it's like F Don and F MJF. I'm like, really? Like we're in this serious match or this like killer match or whatever you want to call it, and it's like that's what he's wearing.
Don't you guys share a locker room? Wouldn't you have seen him putting this thing on?
I guess he dressed in the shower or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it in order here. We talked about the tag team trio off the hop a little bit earlier, or three-way, I should say. The Bucks and El Sky versus Unbound. Shingo Takagi is always fun for me to watch. I think he's just. I like him. I find him interesting. It was nice to actually have that element of New Japan and CMLL there, which was good. Because we didn't get a lot of that in this show.
No, not really.
Omega and Zack Sabre, ZSJ is always solid for a match, but I can't believe this is the only third time they've ever wrestled. Maybe on camera.
It was a good match. Like that was again, this was the match I was probably looking forward to the most.
Moxley and Bandito was what it was. Is it weird that I'm mostly distracted by John Moxley's ever-growing chest hair?
Yeah, that dude. It's. Anyways, I get what you're saying.
It's hitting like sweater weather.
Yeah. He's.
The match stole the show for me. Honestly, I love this one. Shota Umino and Pac. Because
it was another good match.
You can't tell me there was anyone going into this match going, "Oh, I can't wait to see this one."
No, like that's the thing. Like you would have to be the diehard of diehards. Like, I mean, I know how good Pac is. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't watch as much New Japan as I used to, so I'm not very familiar with like Umino. But man, like it was a good match.
Well, and wasn't Umino subbing for someone else too? I seem to recall that they had originally shot an angle with someone else, and then they had to go with Umino instead. Because that was the other thing too. Yeah. They had a bunch of immigration problems with this show, which was
you're right. Yeah. I saw that there's some visa issues or whatever. So,
Thekla and Starlight Kid, that dude that's the president of Stardom. The other Okada. If you didn't watch Forbidden Door, just look up the president of Stardom and his interaction, especially with that match with Thekla.
That was tremendous.
When she hits him, and he's like trying to sell being like knocked out, sort of, but he's like just slowly, carefully trying to fall down.
Yeah, it was not. It was not good. I mean,
all it was I need to hear was help. I've fallen and I can't get up.
It was horrible in like the funniest way.
Oh, it was so badly good. Oh boy, Cope and Cage versus the Dogs. We get the Bang Bang Gang coming back.
Jay White.
Well, yeah, with Jay White, which was the big story because he's been gone for forever. I did like the fact that they actually did the zoom around, like the pan around.
Oh yeah.
Like the way they normally do for their entrance. I was like, what a colossal waste of time. If you're gonna go make the save, why would you stand there and wait for your entrance to happen? But
it's wrestling, man.
Wrestling, exactly. That's exactly.
You know
the
what
answer.
though? I will admit, like I really like despise in the correct heel way. Clark Connors, that dude, man, like he's not likable at all, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Doing his job. This match got mixed reviews. Devin Axman, for example, we'll talk about this in the Abu coming up, but he was not a fan of this match at all. What did you think of Mercedes versus Maya World?
I thought the match was good. I thought Maya World would have won this though, like given the backdrop of the story with like, her, like all the stuff that was going on in her life. I thought she might win this. So I was a little shocked that Mercedes won the match, but I got nothing bad to say about this match. I thought it was pretty good. I thought like, I like the ending sequence where, Monet had she had like her submission move on and Maya's trying to get out of it. And finally she tapped. I thought it was really, I like that. I liked it a lot.
What really sold this match was the commentary. The commentary team for AEW needs to be applauded for that match because they really brought out the story.
Yes.
And
yes, they did.
The wrestling was good, but the story was phenomenal. And I compare this to, and not that I'm going to be like, it's on the same level, but it kind of, I don't know. I feel it is. I recently got to call a match in Dungeon Wrestling between Ava Lawless, who's a big time name out here, and Gigi Ray, who was actually Booker T's ROW Glory champion and really phenomenal talent, also from Alberta. And they have a story, a real life story, where kind of like the Mercedes and Maya World one, where one didn't idolize the other. They actually trained together and they actually came up in the business together. And one went on to do all these great things in Japan and down in Texas with Booker T and all these other places. And the other's kind of been, biding her time, waiting to get her chance. And so I got to call and I talked to both the girls before the match, kayfabe. But I said, what's the story here? What are we talking about? And they explained to me individually their perspective of what the story was going into the match. And it's one of my favorite matches I've ever called. And Ava actually came to me and said afterwards, like, I really appreciate your call on that one. The commentary was really great. And I was like, it was great because you gave me a great story and you gave me a great story to tell. And that's what these girls had was a great story to tell. And I think that the commentary was more interesting to me than the match was, if that makes sense.
No, I get that, because again, like I didn't know a ton about like Maya World, and
nobody does. Like we have no reason to. She hasn't been around that much.
No, but that's the thing. Like when Excalibur and like when those guys were talking about her story, it was like, okay, you're giving me context, and like that made me care about the match more. So I agree with you. I think like the commentators, they should be given some kudos for calling the match that the way that they did.
Walker Stewart is the other guy you were thinking of.
Right.
He was telling a story, and cool throwback for him too. I think he mentioned that he called like one of her first matches or some of her first matches back in Texas, and it's like, that's awesome. To have that kind of connection, that's really cool. So.
Well, and again, it gives guys like me who don't know the story context, and makes me want to care about this person or this wrestler.
That's all it needs to be. Okay. Is it main event time? No, it's cage match time. Or is it? Hold on.
I mean, this was one of the 3 main events, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the order of things here. Well, I know that the cage match happened, and then right. So
it was the cage match, and then it was like Will and Swerve.
Yeah. What do you say about this? Honestly, I mean, we've already kind of talked about it. It was a car crash. I mean, that's what like. What are you gonna like? You weren't gonna get like a 5-star type match. You know what I mean? Like this, you knew this was gonna be a car wreck. People are talking about the circle cage. I didn't mind it. I don't know. I don't know that the shape of it matters that much, but what did you think?
I didn't have a problem with it. It was something different. I'm not sure how I felt about the Death's Door or whatever they called it. Like,
yeah, dumb name.
Justin Roberts is like, Death's Door, and I'm like, huh? Like, that was sort of my reaction to it, but I was like, all right, whatever. Like,
the Jerkle's in a circle. That's still my vote. Right now, Dimitri Carlos wanting to make a Peter North joke, but anyway.
Oh Lord, let's not. Yes, Dimitri, he didn't say it. Anyways, the name just kind of threw me for a loop. But I mean, again, it was like in terms of the shape of the cage, I had no problem with it. I just had a problem with the name. That's the bottom line.
All right, I saw somebody online say they should have called it the Wheel of Steel, and I'm like, I don't mind that actually.
You know what? Like, that's better than Death's Door. Like,
better than Death's Door. Yeah. Okay. By this point, I'm tired. Like, I'm exhausted. And I'm done with watching wrestling. I'm pissed. Like, I'm not enjoying myself anymore. I'm like, why is this show still going?
Yeah.
How much longer is this going to be? And then Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland come out. And these are 2 guys that I love watching. But this is why it gets a boo from me, Joe. I love watching these guys. I couldn't stand the fact it was so friggin' late into the show. I had to watch this, though.
Yep.
And it really soured me. And I was like, just bring it home already.
Well, and it's funny you're saying this, because like when I was doing the podcast thing, much more consistently, I would give shows like this a boo, because it was like so long, and it was like, all right, I'm done. Right. Yeah. Like to your point, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, it was a great match, but not after 4.5 hours of watching wrestling.
There's nothing you can show me that I haven't seen some version of. Yep. There's nothing you can do that I haven't seen some version of, and part of it's my fault for watching other shows. Sure. But really? Like, even your own show has 11 billion matches.
Yeah. And that's, again, like, that's the problem, is that, like, you could take some of the blame for watching it, but at the end of the day, you're watching something that you like. And, even if that's making you sick, that may not not be a you problem, right?
Well, like I said in my yay boo comment, is that even an all you can eat buffet can make you sick. And that's what AEW always says. Like, we're like a buffet of wrestling. There's something for everyone. Yes, but too much is still too much, guys. And that's what I'm saying. Is that
and the other thing too is that you came off like this cage match into another bloody match with Will and Swerve, and it was kind of like, to your point, yeah, you're not showing me anything that I already haven't seen in this show, right?
Yeah, and the worst part too is that Swerve and Ospreay, like, they looked like they were legitimately dying. Like, it was, I feel bad for saying that, because that means that's what they have to do. Like, that's the level they have to carry it out to try and outdo everything else that happened on the show. I don't know. But Joe, what I do know is that we have some conversation to get to, and that is in the version of Yay Boo, our Celebrate Wrestling Facebook feedback. Yay Boo on AEW times New Japan times CMLL times Stardom Forbidden Door 2026. Not a ton of comments on this one. I think just, due to the viewership, the time more than anything, I think, is what probably kept people from watching this one live.
Or they fell asleep before they could put their Yay-Boos up.
That could be it too. I'll start here with your pal, Chris Hodnott, who says, yay, in your voice, in Joe's voice. So go ahead and give it a yay, Joe.
Yay.
There you go. Chris says, show is good from top to bottom. Started off fast and hot, then found its consistent pace. Can't say there was a bad match. Great wrestling. The round steel cage was interesting, and that match was just what the pay-per-view needed. 10 matches on the card, plus 3 on the pre-show for a total of close to 6 hours. Length and start time on a Sunday is the only complaint. See, even somebody who enjoyed it immensely is saying that 6 damn hours on a Sunday night is not good.
Oh, well, that segues into what Alan says. He gives it a boo. Too long of a show. 2 bloodbaths in a row was a bad choice, and there wasn't a whole lot of surprises. Matches were good, but there weren't really any upsets or shocks.
Devin Axman, we talked about him before. He says, I'd have to say a yay, but it was definitely a middle tier of AEW pay-per-views of all time. That just shows how good the company has been. Okay, I'll give you that. Trios match was super fun. Kenny, Zack Sabre Jr. was a technical masterpiece. Mox Bandito was fun. Best Shota match I've seen. I agree. I think Umino, again, was the star of this show. Really enjoyed seeing Starlight Kid. Yeah, I'd never seen her before. And then the show died with the tag match, and the cage match had too much comedy for my liking.
Which you said as well. There you go.
Maya World wasn't ready for that yet, but she might be in a year. All-time carry for Mercedes. Maybe in the minority, but I loved the main. An all-time blade job from Swerve and a brutal match. Transitions were insane, too. They did miss the peak a couple of times. Ended after the first Hidden Blade showdown. Overall, 3.5 Mr. Big Sticks out of 5, with the show being too long. See, and Devin is like one of the biggest AEW fans we have on the page. Yeah. And I'm not saying we don't do the tribalism thing here. What I'm saying is he enjoys watching and talking about AEW. And even he is saying, cut down on the length. Some of the matches, it would have been much better. I agree. A lot of these matches didn't need to go 20 minutes, or however long they did. Like, it just needed to just slow down already. You get it done, speed it up, whatever.
And Danny Fournier, he says he's split on this one. He says that the show was too long as a whole, and most of the matches, kind of to what you were saying there.
And what everybody's saying, even the people that loved it.
Now, here's an interesting point. He says that he's starting to notice that with these long matches, there's so many high spots that they tend to forget the majority of them. So when he finishes watching a match, he'll say, that was amazing. Then he doesn't know why it was amazing. He goes on to say, I think I get that. I totally understand that.
That's true. And I got a great comparison for you, but keep going.
So he says he thinks the round cage worked for the match because it was 12 guys plus Leo Rush, and they needed the room.
Oh my God. Pause. Leo Rush in the duffel bag. Leo, I can't believe we didn't talk about that in the review, but what a moment. It's fine. It's fine. All
All right. Sorry, Danny continues. He says, was it just me or was it really a Forbidden Door event? He saw a couple of NJPW, CMLL, and Stardom wrestlers throughout the night, but that was it. Main event, the 12-man cage match, the tag team match had people who had been in NJPW, but they're AEW regulars. I'm going to skip to the end. He says that AEW put on a show with some great matches. But the matches and events were too long for it being a Forbidden Door. It didn't really feel like one. Anyone who came in through the quote unquote Forbidden Door. It's too bad that they could have pushed the event back a couple weeks to coincide with a 90-day clause that let go WWE talent, that they had to abide by. Having a bunch of them debut at Forbidden Door would have been epic. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, who are you going to bring in?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to bring in the Wyatt Six? What are you going to call them?
No, please don't do that.
The Wyndham Four?
Oh, God.
Like, I'm not saying that to be funny. I love Bray Wyatt, and I do think that gimmick deserved better. I just think that it just didn't work out. Anyway.
Yeah.
De-silence AP Jackson. I don't even know who you are, but that's a cool name. Simply says, yay, 8 out of 10, so I'm going to follow with Gibble. It's his nickname, by the way. Curtis Second Libel. He says, boo, match quality was fine. AEW has its standard, and they always go huge on pay-per-views, but it was just a long, long show. I love AEW, but I turned the pay-per-view off before the main event because it was already 10:30 my time, and I still have to wake up early the next morning. See, this is what I mean. People are working for a living, man. He says, you could have easily put half the card on Dynamite and no one would bat an eye, especially that cage match, which is once again a prop to hype another match next week. Yeah. They're doing the challenge this Wednesday on Dynamite.
Oh, all right.
Isn't that crazy? Like
a little bit. That's a little
the
fast.
Briscoe match is going to happen and then it's done. A small gripe being the Forbidden Door theme. In hindsight, only Thekla, Starlight Kid, Kenny Zack Sabre Jr., and Shota Pak really leaned into it. Well, it's because it's the only talent they had, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then a couple teams for the Young Bucks match, but yeah, it was definitely short.
Our pal Sally says, yay for Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay. I'll give you Blaine's too. Go ahead.
All right. So Blaine says, got to give it to them. It was a yay. It exceeded expectations and gave us a little something extra that you wouldn't normally get for free. That's what every pay-per-view should be. I was kind of expecting the thumbs down for Death Riders and still have no idea what the angle is going, but that's not a bad thing.
Well, Blaine, giving us a little something extra that we normally wouldn't get for free is fine, right? It's like, hey, you got an extra scoop of ice cream on your cone. You paid for one, but you got two. That's a nice treat. That's a nice, pleasant surprise, right? They didn't hand you 10 gallons of ice cream and say, carry this out into the hot summer sun. This is what I'm saying. And I love wrestling. I do. I'm doing like a bajillion shows this month.
Dude, here's the thing. You're not coming across as a hater. It was a long show. It was everyone's saying it. It's like everybody.
Sports Illustrated is saying, anyway. All right.
But hey, man, if Tony Khan wants to do it, that's what he's going to do, right?
If Tony wants to do, Tony's going to do. All right. Joe, this has been fun, but it's gone on far too long.
Not as long as the Forbidden Door was.
We would still have to go for at least 4 hours and 50 minutes to match that show's time.
I like talking to you, but not that much.
I don't even like you that much at all. The thought nauseates me. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed this show. Stefan and I are getting together soon for another edition of Legends and Champions. Alternate commentary table on Saturday, and good old McGuire on Wrestling coming up on Sunday. Joe, thank you as always, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for listening. Let us do what we do. Till next time, play safe, drive safe. I've seen ya. Bye.